What's up guys, I'm BTC. McCree just got a significant buff to his roll ability, allowing it to travel further and be usable in the air. But beyond the surface level flexibility improvements, there is also some other things that can be done with this new roll ability that are greatly improving what McCree can do. Namely, it allows McCree to access high ground that previously he couldn't get. Also, he can now utilize different flanking routes and shortcuts that greatly improve his mobility. I'm going to show you some of the best and most useful of these, but keep in mind, this is not the entire list. There are other places where you can use the new roll ability to access different shortcuts. First thing to understand is that this is not like a tracer blink that moves perfectly horizontal. Even though the roll will make you move forward faster, you are still falling down during the entire time. But there's also a really important interaction when you use the roll in midair. It allows you to climb on top of objects that you normally wouldn't be able to jump onto. Let me show you with this wagon here. In the front, you can jump up on top because it's got the step, but on the side, you can't jump in because it's too high up, and on the back, you can't jump in as well. However, if you hold forward, jump, and then use the roll at the height of your jump, you can climb in. Now, this isn't super useful for this wagon because we can still climb in from the front, but there are other places in the game where you can use this trick in order to get high ground and into other locations that you normally wouldn't be able to by using the roll to actually climb up on top of the high ground. We're going to start in Hanamura that has some really good locations to use this new roll. The first is that you can take the high ground on the top left in that middle area, and by taking this, you can use that as an angle to attack some of the defenders that are on that right-hand side. You can also jump and roll onto this center building in order to try to attack some of the defenders that might be holding that left-hand side. But even more useful is that now you can roll onto this middle area here, wait for your roll to recharge, and then you can jump and roll and take the shortcut on the left-hand side, that flanking route, all by yourself, no need for a teleporter. Alternatively, you can use the rock on the left-hand side in order to also get up on top into that area, and then from there, you can do all of the same stuff. Really nice one on Lijiang Tower. You can now jump across this gap, and it will work in both directions, allowing you to flank the enemy. Very powerful use right there. But it's not just in that location. Imagine that there is an enemy in there, and you just took a bunch of damage. What do you do? What do you do? Well, you can actually go around to the left-hand side, jump, roll, flank, hit him with the stun, and then finish him off. So there are a lot of small areas like this throughout the game that can also be made useful. In Hollywood, you can jump off the highest building and land on this roof over here, which may not be the best spot, but it does give you another option. Maybe it will be something that is unexpected by the defenders or the attackers, and you can also use it for quick access over to the other building as well. Kings Row has a couple good ones. You can now cross this gap between these two buildings, which is going to be really helpful, whether you're defending or attacking. That's going to be really good. In the middle part of the map, if you jump, you can land on top of this building. That's pretty much only going to be good for defenders. It is a little tricky to get up there, but still a good spot. Here's a quick shortcut on Havana. Nepal has a pretty good one that allows you to get up on top of those pillars. It uses that climbing function that I mentioned with the wagon. So you just jump next to the wall and then use the roll, and it will place you on top of it. So you come over to this side right here, jump, roll, it places you on top, wait for the cooldown, and then jump and roll again, and you're on top of it. This was surprisingly easy to get up here. Another quick one, this is on Nubani. Unfortunately, this one will only work in one direction. Route 66 has another example of using the roll to climb on top of stuff. Temple of Anubis has a couple of really good ones. You can jump and roll over to this building, and then you can jump and roll to get on top of that platform, which gives you a really nice view of the doorway as the attackers are moving in. But it also has the building on your left, which will protect you from any of the attacking Hanzo and Widow players. And then you can also jump and roll down to get on top of this area if you need to help out. There's another nice little spot. If you're trying to contest point A, rather than jumping onto this and then going all around, you can instead simply jump across the gap. This is only going to save you a couple of seconds, but if the attacking team is trying to capture that point, it might be worth it. Maybe those seconds count. Volskaya has a whole bunch of good ones. If you're attacking, you can get up on top of this building. Now, you already can by jumping and crouching. It's a little tricky sometimes, but you can jump and crouch and get up on top of the building. But if you're trying to do that while the defenders are attacking you, it might not be all that easy. So now with the new role, there is a faster and easier way to do it. You got to go into this building, and then you jump up on top of the railings here, and then you jump and roll, and you can get on top of that, and then you can quickly jump up on top of here, and that will give you the high ground. But in addition to that, you can then jump over into this window as well, which will give you even more access to the high ground. On defense, you can use the roll to get on top of the middle section, but it's even better than that. You can use the climbing function of it to get over here. See how it kind of pops up a little bit? And then you can also use the roll to get back over to this side as well. Really awesome. It gets even better on the second point. With the new roll, you have complete access to all of the high ground. You can jump across that gap. You can jump across the gap from left to right. Both sides works very easily. And then you can also jump over to this. Again, you have that little climbing function that allows you to get up there, and you can also use the moving platform to get into the back. You can use the moving platform to get up on top there. Lots of great access throughout the entire second point. Gibraltar also has a bunch of good spots. First of all, if you're one of those people that always has trouble making that jump normally, well, now you can just use the roll and it's kind of easy mode, but there's a better use for it. You can now use the roll to get onto the back ledge behind the point, and you can also use it to go onto this area as well. In the middle of the map, if you jump on top of the ship in order to get high ground and you need to move to one of the sides, you can do that. This is a little tricky. You got to go right to the edge in order to make that jump, though. At the end of the map, you can use the jump and roll to get onto that small platform if you want to have a different angle, but you can only jump to the platform, you can't jump back. And remember what I showed you with the wagon, how you can use the roll to climb up on top of things? Well, you can do that right here in order to get access to the other side of the building. Move in, jump, roll, hold forward, and you'll slide over, and then you can use this position as your high ground so that you can go after the attackers as they begin to move out from those doors. Once again, this is not a complete list. There's definitely going to be more out there. Some will be more useful than others, but make no mistake, this functionality with using the roll in midair in order to get onto high ground or to take shortcuts is incredibly useful, particularly in some of those flanking routes like what I showed you on Hanamura. You can now go to the left without needing to have a Symmetra teleporter or any other assistance. That is incredibly good. For the moment, the change that allows the roll to be used in midair is still in the experimental mode, but if this does get moved over and you play McCree, it would definitely be a good idea to learn about where these locations are. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to be comment of the video, then leave yours, and while you're at it, ring the bell so you never miss a new video. Also, if you want to get some cool gear, join my Discord server, or follow me on social media, then check out the links down below. And remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault.